On the civil side, the new command is added, and that's for parking bays. Existing users probably made use of a line style that if you click on the drop down and you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you will see that there's a 5 meter as well as a 4.8 line style for parking bays. So if you click on a line style, then you make use of a line command. Caddie creates those parking bays. Now here comes the new command. Not only is creating parking bays, but you can also number the parking bays. So it's a civil command. So on your left hand side, you're going to go to application, you go to civil, and then the new command is called parking bays. Now in this dialog, the dimension is going to ask you for the length as well as the width, the pen color you like to draw it, as well as a line style. Now this remains a continuous line. And then if you like to make use of layers. My text, I'm going to keep it to auto. It will adjust, if it's set to auto, it will adjust according to the size of your parking bay. And I always want my text horizontal with your specific text style that you want to use and the pen color. Now I'm going to ask Caddie to number my bays, and I'm going to ask Caddie to start at 20. So if I'm going to say OK, Caddie will ask us start of parking bays. So I'm going to zoom in, indicate the first point, last point, and Caddie asks us the direction of the bay, and I'm going to indicate to the left hand side. So as you can see, it did start at number 20, goes all the way up to 28. Now the command is in a loop, so I can carry on. I can say, right, let's start from that point again, come down to this point, and I want the parking bays to be on the right hand side. And then here at the bottom, and we go all the way up, and the direction is to the left hand side. So now I've created parking bays. It started at 20 and it goes all the way up to 46. And then you realize that you're on the left hand side, that's actually where parking bay number 20 should have started. So you're going to use the command. So I'm going to go back to apps, civil, we go down to parking bays, keep everything default. I'm going to change back to my start number to 20. I'm going to say OK. Caddie will ask the start of parking bay, indicate the first point, the last point, and the direction. So now I've got double up, but now I'm going to show you an existing command how to edit the parking bay numbers. So it's under annotate, we go down to text, and then in the sub column we go down to copy, edit, multiple. So if I'm going to click on the command, my selection I will define with a rectangle because I only want to update the text here on the right hand side. My increment type is going to be numeric, and I'm going to ask Caddie to edit the existing text. And then the start, because as Caddie asks you the position and increment of number, that's going to be 9, because now I've started on the left hand side 20 up to 28, so the next one is supposed to be 29. So I'm going to increment with 9, I'm going to say OK, and Caddie will ask us indicate diagonal corners of rectangle. So I'm going to change to freehand, and I'm going to define what needs to be updated. And as you can see at the bottom, it updates to 29 and goes all the way to 55. What I want to show you, and maybe you did notice it if you look on the screen, is that if I go to my apps and I go to my civil, you will see that if I go to the parking bay command, you will see that I'm going to start at 1 and I'm going to say OK. You keep everything the same, but if I say S for snap, indicate the start point, have a look on my pointer itself. Caddie will tell you there's 5 bays, there's 8 bays, there's 13 bays. So on the pointer itself, Caddie will tell you. So I'm going to say S for snap, let's use the endpoint. Caddie tells us there should be 25 bays. I indicate the endpoint, indicate the direction, and as you can see, it did start at number 1 and it ended up to 25. And for those that like to work with patterns, this command is pattern related. So if you double left click, you will see then it will select it as a pattern. So if you need to delete it for some reason, no need to delete segment or delete text, you can just double left click and it's a pattern.